cultivated right now. It's just grown up some weeds, and there's some woods back behind there. But this is what could be considered at grade or in a slight fill. You see that it starts getting into a cut near the very crest of the vertical curve, but I believe we stay outside of that within the test section. I'm going to move forward with the walking video tour. In case I didn't mention it, this is Georgia ID number 2301. Just as before, we have a newly constructed pavement. This was on the adjacent project to the one that we just looked at, and it was constructed or opened to traffic in 1986. And traffic volumes are quite low here. We have a relatively high percentage of the volume are trucks. And it's expected that this highway is going to be carrying more and more traffic in the future because this is the main connector from the Florida Panhandle on up into central Georgia, connecting up with Albany, Georgia, going over to Cordell, where it ties in with I-75, and then on up to Atlanta. This goes down, incidentally, to Thomasville, which is 12 miles or so south of us, and then on into Florida, where it is called Thomasville Road, at least in Tallahassee. We're up at Station 2. I may have mentioned this also. One other reason for picking on these crest vertical curves is, particularly in this part of the state, is that you tend not to have cross drains in this, which we're trying to avoid. Although, from what I can tell, from what I've seen in the past, one wonders whether that was a necessary thing to do or not, because we just haven't seen, particularly around anything less than, say, 24-inch diameter pipe, that we haven't seen very much or any distress that can be attributed to that, or at least I haven't on any of the test sections I've reviewed. Coming up there on Station 4, and then you see Station 5. I guess we do get slightly into a cut here. We'll call this an at-grade section because we're really not into much of one. Not enough to make any difference, I suspect. Although you never can tell. We're kind of in a changeable area of soils where we get into pockets of predominantly sandy material and others of predominantly clay. Although this was characterized as being coarse, it probably is more accurately called a fine material, but